So do you want me
Tell me,
to...
yeah, I'm not picked up here because I moved the camera flat. Oh, thank you.
Yes, you found that?
That's fine then.
Right.
That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy your lunch? Because it's cost me a fortune, honestly. And then we have the bar open. Thankfully, no one's too pissed yet. Okay, so are you enjoying it? Yeah, I thought so. A bit different, isn't it? A bit different, fresh perspectives. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, he tells us all of this stuff, but the question is, as you know, many hypnotherapists and hypnotists can talk the talk, but can many deliver it? So as Alex Jonathan has given us all this fabulous stuff, the question in my mind now, ladies and gentlemen, is can he do it? Let's find out. Welcome him back.
Hello guys and girls, good afternoon! Brilliant. Bloody hell, it's so nice to have an audience and know what they're supposed to do. It makes life so much easier. Okay, this is going to be really unstructured for the next half hour or so. There's a reason for that. It will make sense afterwards. Trust me, there's method in my madness. Giving you bits of jigsaw pieces, shall we say. A lot of them this morning, more than you perhaps even realise. By the end of the day, those jigsaw pieces should actually form a picture that makes sense and is clear to you. In a kind of almost hateable, almost an NLP future pacing fashion. It will be there for you, you'll get it. Okay, this is being filmed for legal reasons and also because I make shitloads of money selling it. I'll be honest with you, that's one of the key things that ended up convincing me to do a one-day event when I don't do them. I'll be honest with you. So, when I ask for volunteers, be aware, you come to the front. This camera is such, it does not see the audience. But if you come here, you're going to be on camera. It will not be on YouTube, people cannot publicly see it. They will only see this if they've invested a substantial amount of money, which will mean they are a therapist. Which means, Joe Public, your clients ain't going to see it. Not unless they're spending hundreds of pounds. So, I can remove that fear and guarantee you that straight away. But do not volunteer if you're not prepared to be seen on camera. Hopefully that leaves some people in the room who won't be prepared to volunteer, otherwise this next bit doesn't fucking work. Well, I could do it in mime, I suppose, but you know. Yeah, I could do it in mime. Next door neighbour apparently went on a mime artist course. Not heard a thing from him since. And I'm glad it's going well today, because I was thinking about, you know, if it didn't go well today, I thought, you know, I'm at that midlife crisis bit. I thought, you know what, I might change direction in life. And I've never been that musical, but I thought I could go and have some music lessons, and I could set up a covers band. I even came up with a name, Prevention. Yeah, we were going to be a Cure tribute act, only better. Anyway, sometimes people on the internet, because they don't get it, tone and inflection isn't there on the internet, unfortunately. So I could type some of the stuff I said this morning and it could come across really egotistical and arrogant. It probably did anyway, but hopefully you get a different side to it with voice tone. But I say it's all about the money, and it is. It's all about the money, because the more you charge, the better lifestyle you can give yourself, the less work you have to do, but also there's the other side effect. The other side effect is the more people pay, the more they have perceived attached value. The more likely to work for them. We'll cover that when we get to placebo. But I'm not totally heartless, despite what some people may say. I printed this out as an email I got, and I believe it was sent on behalf of Edna by somebody at the care home. And I go sometimes and do close-up magic stuff for care homes, or chucking them around on the floor is not a good idea. So I don't do it. I've got some sense. And I do quite a bit for charity and stuff. Anyway, I raised some money basically. And some of it got used by different people in the care. And I got this really nice letter. And I thought I'd share it with you. Purely egotistically, to show there's a nice side to me as well. I'll be honest, that's my motive. And it says, "Dear Dr. Royle, God bless you for the beautiful digital radio which you donated and which I won at the recent Senior Citizens Luncheon. I'm 94 years old and live at the local home for the aged. My family has long since passed away and I rarely have visitors. As a result, I have very limited contact with the outside world. This makes the gift you donated especially welcome. My roommate, Maggie Cook, has had her own radio for as long as I've known her. She listens to it all the time, though usually with an earplug or headphones, or with the volume really low so I can't hear it. For some reason, she's never wanted to share it. Last Sunday morning, whilst listening to her morning gospel programmes, she accidentally knocked her radio off its shelf. It smashed into many pieces and caused her to cry. It was so very sad. Fortunately, I have my new radio. Knowing this, Maggie asked if she could listen to mine. I told her to fuck off. God bless you. Yeah, doing a lot of work for charity. So yeah, I'm going to be looking, good afternoon, I'm going to go to stage board now, so good afternoon and welcome to what's going to be for most of you, I'm sure, a truly interesting, informative and entertaining hour or so. Now the reason I say most of you is because many of you here tonight, or rather this afternoon, will be hypnotised, and for those of you who are hypnotised, it will be a truly relaxing, enjoyable, if somewhat slightly unusual experience. Now, although you'll hear me say the word sleep rather a lot this afternoon, none of you will actually ever be asleep. Well, at least I hope you won't. Because if you're hypnotised, you'll be fully aware of everything that's going on around you at all times. It's just you'll have this overwhelming desire to do almost everything and anything I say. Now, the reason I say almost anything I say is because it is impossible, despite what you may have read in the media, it is impossible to make anyone say or do anything that would totally contradict the morals or the values. So when I ask for volunteers, what I'd ideally like are about half a dozen people with no morals and with no values. Just joking, of course. Now, a lot of people say to me, Jonathan, because that's my name, they say, Jonathan, what's it like when you're hypnotised? And I have to say to them, well, you know, some people say to me that when they're hypnotised, it's very relaxing, slightly unusual, feels good, rather like having a joint of Moroccan black. We know who smokes. One way of identifying them in the crowd. And then a lot of women have said to me, Jonathan, they said, Jonathan, when I was hypnotised, it was better than any orgasm I've ever had. To which I usually say, well, obviously, you've not fucking slept with me then, have you? But no, seriously, it's just a very relaxing, enjoyable, if somewhat slightly unusual experience. All that happens when you're hypnotised is that the imagination is enhanced by 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, maybe as much as 100 times, so that what is 1 minute purely imaginary, the next minute seems very real indeed. So you can almost taste, smell, see, feel and hear everything, using your wonderful powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration, because that's the other key thing. People think to be hypnotised you've got to be weak-willed or insane. That really isn't true at all. But there are a couple of types of people that I cannot and will not hypnotise for legal, health and safety reasons, and purely because they can't be hypnotised. The first group of people are raging alcoholics. Do we have any drunks in this afternoon? No. Okay, that's good. And then there's also idiots. Can't hypnotise idiots. I've got any idiots in. You won't own up to it. But yeah, no, the reason you can't hypnotise drunk people is because they already think they're hypnotised. But fortunately, we won't have that issue. Not till this evening, anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to make anyone remove any article of clothing. Sorry, but I have laws to abide by. So be reassured, I'm not going to humiliate anyone. Hypnosis is purely about imagination, not humiliation. I promise you of that. You'll feel better when you go back to the audience than you do when you walk up here to the front. Of that I can also assure you. But before I find out, basically, because our time is limited, basically everyone can be hypnotised. It takes different lengths of time for different people in different environments. If I was seeing you one-to-one, we'd have all the time in the world. With this, time's limited, so I need to find which of you have got the best powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration to be a wonderful hypnotic subject here in front of everyone today. Now, this experiment, even if you're not prepared to come to the front of the room, okay, you can still participate in, because you're not on camera, and then you can choose whether to participate or not. So it would be really helpful if everyone put down their drinks, their handbags, their purses, pads and pens, and if the women could do the same, that would be a great start. Fantastic. Brilliant. Because what I'd like each of you and every one of you to do is put your feet firmly on the floor, because otherwise you'll end up with a dead leg or something. And I'm not here to cause you dead legs or anything like that. We're here to have fun. And like each and every one of you, okay, in a moment, because a lot of people say to me, what's hypnosis? And all it is it's the combination of physical suggestion with verbal suggestion, okay? So let's start with verbal suggestion. So I'm going to say a word. When I've said it, I'm going to go like that. And each time I do that, I want you, guys and girls, to say it out loud. Then I'm going to shout out a question. When you hear that question, say the first thing that comes into your head, okay? So, we're going to go with the word silk. S-I-L-K. Silk. Like a silk shirt. Silk. So, silk. 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 What do cows drink? Water. Water! How easily our minds are distracted. That's all that happens with hypnosis. Our habits, addictions, fears and phobias and all that kind of stuff are basically the conscious mind and the critical faculty analytical area getting distracted, sometimes as quickly as that, and letting some shit in. And then we suffer with it for years maybe before somebody comes along, the hypnotherapist, and distracts the mind again to let the shit out and something positive in. It is actually as simple as that. Let's try one more. Stop. S-T-O-P. Like you'd stop after you've been moving. So, stop, 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 stop. What do you do at a green traffic light? Yeah, some of you got, hey, you're getting better. But some of you said stop. I'm not getting in the car with you. So about half a minute. That's verbal suggestion, okay? Then in life there's also physical suggestion. That can be people's body language, something we'll cover a little bit more later. To try and demonstrate that, it's also about observation as well, which is very important with body language. So, tell you what, take your right arm, that's this one, I'll face this way. Okay, your right arm, make a fist, make a gun, not shoot anyone, and then make a ring. On the count of 3, I want you to do what I say, not what I do, okay? 1, 2, 3, just touch it to your chin, right there. Go on, do it. Silly fuckers, chin's down here. 2/3 of the room fell for that. How ridiculously simple the mind can be deceived. And in life, if we allow ourselves to be deceived by someone's negative comments, or by stuff we see on television, or stuff that, because we saw our mum scared of a spider running across the room, we take it on board that that's what's supposed to be normal, so it can cause phobias. How easy it is just to distract the mind as well, to let that out and put something positive in. That's what we do as therapists. Okay, let's try something else. Both hands out in front of you like that, okay? Fantastic. Interlock your fingers, so the fingers of the left hand are against the back of the right hand, the fingers of the right hand against the back of the left. You're late, you've rolled up. No, don't, I'm joking. Fingers of the left hand against the back of the right hand, fingers of the right hand against the back of the left hand. Palms pressed tightly together, thumbs down on top, and squeeze your hands together just as tightly as you can. Stare directly at your hands. Now what I'd like you to do is extend your forefingers. They're the ones on the top. And then separate them about 1 inch. If that's 1 inch, I've got no fucking worries, love. And then look directly at me, because I'm going to give you some suggestions. I want you to look at me and concentrate and use your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration. And if you do that effectively, as I'm sure you will, you'll find that by the count of 1, your fingertips will be touching, because the world's strongest magnets are now starting to operate on the tips of your fingers on the count of 3, getting stronger and stronger with every breath you take, every noise you hear, every word I say, and every thought you think, merely serving as a sign and a signal on the count of 2 for you to realise that as you use your powers of mind so effectively, it's almost as if someone's got a piece of rope. And they've taken that piece of rope and they've tied it around your fingers, and now they're pulling that rope tighter and tighter and tighter as they pull the rope tighter and tighter and tighter. So your fingertips get closer and closer and closer with every breath that you take, every noise that you hear, every word that I say. As a sign and a signal is on 1, just so long as you use your powers of intelligence. Imagination and concentration effectively, you find now it's almost as if those magnets have turned to electromagnets. Someone's turned on the electricity and it's getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. If I was one-to-one with you, I'd keep going till your fingertips touch. But those people whose fingertips are now touching are very nearly, just put your hands in the air. The vast majority of the room, you're not on camera, but the vast majority of the room, if I was one-to-one, I'd just do it until your fingertips were touching. But that's good. This shows me the vast majority of you are there in the zone. So we're going to try one more little experiment before we get a few brave perfect strangers to the front. So, once again, what we're going to do is this. Hands out in front of us like that. Interlock your fingers just like you did before. Left against right, right against left. But then push your palms away from you like that and push your hands above your head like that. And then stare directly up at the back of your hands like that. Fantastic. And look directly at the back of your hands. This time I'm going to count backwards from 3 down to 1. And on the count of 1, if you concentrate, as I'm sure you will, you'll find that on the count of 1, when I ask you to try to separate your hands, when I ask you to try and separate your hands on the count of 1, you're just going to prove to yourself you've done this correctly. Because if you use your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration effectively, then you'll find that on 3, it's almost as if in a way that feels right for you. It's almost as if the world's strongest superglue is locking, gluing, welding, cementing, bolting the fingers of the left hand to the back of the right hand, the fingers of the right hand to the back of the left hand. Locking, gluing, welding, cementing with every breath you take, every noise you hear, every word I say, and every thought that you think. There's on 2. It's almost as if every nerve, fibre, tissue and muscle from the wrist to the elbows to the shoulders, from the wrist, elbows, shoulders is sticking, locked, glued, welded, cemented in place, almost like iron bars. And on 1, just so long as you keep using your powers of intelligence, just so long as you keep using your powers of imagination and concentration, then you can prove to yourself now you've done this correctly, and just keep believing in the world's strongest superglue, sticking your hands together, and if you push high towards the sky, high towards the rainbow, as though you're reaching for your dreams. Just keep reaching for your dreams, pushing high towards the sky, high towards the rainbow. Just try and prove to yourself you've done this right. Just try and separate your hands. The more you try, the more they stick. Keep reaching for your dreams. The more you try, the more they stick, getting tighter and stiffer. For some of you, you can get the part relatively easy. For others, they're really getting tighter and stiffer. The more you reach for your dreams, getting tighter and stiffer until I clap my hands. When I clap my hands, they'll all separate. 3, 2, 1. Now you can separate your hands. Give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic. 2/3 of the room, hands locked. Nice. Okay, here's the thing. If you want to be hypnotised, mesmerised, pulverised, pasteurised, sterilised, circumstances being what they are, just because there's only 2 chairs doesn't mean that I only want 2 people, okay? In an ideal world, what I do is hypnotise each and every one of you, go to the bar across the road, get pissed, come back at 5 o'clock, wake you up, tell you you enjoyed a wonderful show, a wonderful event. Well, I'm not going to do that to you, but what I do need is some volunteers. Without volunteers, there is no show, there is no demonstration. Everyone will give you a huge round of applause. If you'd like to volunteers, normally I would have music come on at this point, but if you want to volunteer, it's a bit like Jerry Springer. People will give you a huge round of applause as you make your way to the front of the room. Volunteers, I need you here now. Come on, I'm sure there's some men and women in the room who are brave enough. Fantastic, we've got 2 ladies, 3 ladies. Let's have some fellas. We need to stand up. Come on, ladies. Let's have some fellas as well. Come on, you're cowards. We need some men. Brilliant. Come on. We've got 2 men, 4 ladies. Let's have 2 more men. Come on. I need 2 more men. I'm not starting with us. 2 more men. Come on. Sure, 2 more men are brave enough to come up here. We've got 4 ladies, 2 men. Come on, 2 more men. What a bunch of cowards. It's conveniently got out. Something I didn't mention at the start. It's semi-irrelevant now, but I should. I'm deaf in this era. I'll explain why later. So I'm sorry if when I'm talking, I have to be looking at your lips. I'm crap with names as well, but Tom, that's good. Richard, I already know you. Faye, Emma, Karen, and the naughty girl who's not got that job. Ali. Nice to meet Ali. I'll remember that now. Stick it in my head. Strange mental image. Ali Bongo, you've probably never heard of him. He's a magician, or he was. In my head, I'm going now. You've got the fez on with spiral shoes. I'll remember you now. It's a memory aid. There you go, free tip. It's not a memory seminar, but that's how we do it. By a show of hands, anyone on stage been hypnotised before? Now what you perceive to be hypnosis, okay? 5 of you. So we have 1 version. Fantastic, Tom. You've not been done before?
No, not on stage.
By the way, the 5 people here, was it on stage or in a clinic?
No, clinic.
In a clinic? Okay. You want to go into that? Making up your own jokes, that's fantastic. You got me. Fantastic. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come teach you in turn. This is a very artificial environment. It's not a hypnosis show. We're not going to be doing daft things anyway. It's purely to demonstrate hypnosis, nothing else. So each of you, I'd like to take about 2 paces forward. In fact, so you're in line with me. That's brilliant. Put your feet together, hands by your side. Stand stiff and firm, but look up at the ceiling above you. Look up above at the ceiling above you. That's brilliant. I'll only be talking to you directly if I tap you on the shoulder or indicate otherwise. If I don't tap you on the shoulder, then basically, as you keep staring at the ceiling, allow it to be a sign and a signal to help you relax more completely and to allow you to realise that every nerve fibre, tissue and muscle in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, can, when I tap you on the head, only when I tap you on the head, can be an instant sign and a signal to allow you to instantly enter this wonderful state they call hypnosis. And if you never entered that before, it's that wonderful state where your eyes closed, your head falls forward onto your chest, and you enter a lovely, relaxing, sleep-like state. If you have entered it before, you can go into it just as rapidly as you want to. That very moment, that very second that I tap you on the head. You can just allow that moment to be like that, the snap of the fingers, to allow your eyes to close, to re-enter that state in a way that feels right for you. But this time, you'll go 100 times deeper, more relaxing and enjoyable for you than it ever was in the past. Keep staring at the point on the ceiling, take a nice deep regular breath in through your nose, then out through your mouth. And continue breathing deeply and regularly. I'm only talking to you directly if I tap you on the head. And if I do, then I'll be talking to example to you. Eyes slightly closed, nice deep breath in. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. I'll count 1, you'll feel yourself falling gently backwards. I won't let you fall and hurt yourself. You'll just fall gently backwards into my arms. 3, 2, 1, and sleep, 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 sleep. Like a sack of shit, he did. Eyes remain tightly closed at all times unless I say otherwise. Nothing bothers you, worries you, or concerns you. In fact, any noises merely serve as a sign and a signal to help you relax more completely. And if I lift up the right arm and put it by your side, it helps you drift down deeper and deeper. Health and safety. I've got somebody there, you see. Fantastic. I'm only talking to you directly if I tap you on the head. Nice deep breath in. 3, 2, 1. Nice deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. In through your nose. You know that wonderful state? Well, 3. You feel yourself falling gently backwards. I won't let you fall and hurt yourself. Just fall into a lovely, relaxed, sleep-like state. 2. Back, 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 back. 1. Falling back, back, back. Sleep, 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 sleep. Eyes remaining tightly closed at all times unless going deeper. Unless I say otherwise. The deeper you go, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the deeper you go. With every breath that you take, every noise that you hear, every word that I say, and every thought that you think, as you use your powers of intelligence, imagination, and concentration so effectively, and just sleep. Falling back, sleep, 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 deeper, 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 deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the deeper you go with every breath you take. Every noise that you hear, every word that I say, and every thought that you think, just serving as a sign and a signal to help you relax. More completely, nice deep breath in. 3, 2, 1, back, 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 sleep, 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 sleep. But the deeper you go, the better you feel, and just sleep, 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 sleep. Way, sleep, sleep, deeper, deeper, deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel. That looks like a road accident. And the deeper you go, the better you feel, the better you feel, the deeper you go. Nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. 3, you feel yourself falling gently backwards. I won't let you fall and hurt yourself. 2, just fall gently backwards into my arms. Allow your eyes closed down. 1, falling back, 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 back. Sleep, 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 sleep. Eyes remaining tightly closed at all times. Unless I say otherwise. You shouldn't do this when you're 42 and you've had a couple of glasses of wine. But I'm talking to everybody now. As you keep your eyes tightly closed at all times unless I say otherwise. As you continue using your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration so effectively, as I'm sure you will, you're going to find in a few moments' time that awaken you if I sit you down in your chair in the audience or at the front, it doesn't matter. The very moment, the very second that I say sleep, the very moment, the very second, the very instant I say sleep, as quickly as that, sleep, a snap of the fingers, your eyes will instantly close, your heavy head will fall forward onto your chest, and you'll instantly re-enter this state, except each and every time you do, it'll be 100 times deeper, more relaxing, enjoyable, and pleasurable for you. As you realise now that every nerve, fibre, tissue and muscle in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, is like a loose, limp ragdoll. Feeling so good, so calm, so relaxed, so fantastic that you can allow your creative, unconscious, subconscious mind to imagine things as 100% total reality. So for now, keeping your eyes tightly closed, unless I say otherwise, keeping your eyes tightly closed, unless I say otherwise, let's test your imaginations. I'd like you to imagine that it's 7 AM in the morning, you're in bed, it's freezing cold, and as you start to get colder and colder and that draft comes in through the window, you start to shiver and shake a bit. In fact, it starts to get so cold that you need to put your arms around yourself and kind of warm yourself up. That's it, just warm yourself up. Put your arms around yourself, warm yourself up. That's brilliant, because as it gets cold, you just need to warm yourself up. And the person next to you still on the quilt. Put your arms around yourself, warm yourself. Person next to you, still get the quilt back off the person next to you. They're still on the bloody quilt. Pull it back, that's it, ridiculous. They're still on the bloody quilt. Get it back, and just sleep in that position. Relax, drifting down, sinking down, drifting down, sinking down. It's no longer 7 AM in the morning, it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and eyes remaining tightly closed at all times unless I say otherwise. It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you're on the sunny Spanish beach, and it's getting warmer and warmer. You want to stretch out on your sun lounger, that's it. Get comfy on your sun lounger, stretch out on your sun loungers as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And you realise now, oh dear, it's getting that hot that you need some suntan lotion. The moment I put the invisible suntan lotion in your hands, you start rubbing it into your body to cool yourself down, because as it gets 100 degrees, it's getting hotter, just rub that into your body, cool yourself down, rub that into your body, put the suntan lotion in your body, get yourself cooled down, it's 150 degrees, get out, rub it into your body, cool yourself down, 150 degrees, it's hotter and hotter and hotter. You need to cool yourself down, 180 degrees, but oh bloody hell, that suntan lotion now is attracting the flies. Flick the flies away. Oh, the nasty little sandams are crawling up your leg. Shake your legs, get rid of those nasty little sandams, and just sleep in that position. Drifting down, sinking down. Give them a round of applause. That sounds is how to relax more and more. Remembering that while you're in this room, and only while you're in this room, whenever I say sleep, as quickly as that, sleep, a snap of the fingers, your eyes will instantly close, and your head will fall forward onto your chest, and you'll instantly re-enter this state, except each and every time you do, it'll be 100 times deeper, more relaxing, and enjoyable for you. Only talking to you if I tap you on the head, wake, rise and shine up, you get, give Tom a round of applause to stand up. Wake, rise and shine, you get it, give Richard a round of applause. And we got some stuff like that. Wakey, Ellie, you get, give Ellie a round of applause. Wakey, right, you get. Wakey, you get, give Emma a round of applause. Okay. Fantastic. And finally, wakey. What you get, it's Karen.
Hang on.
You alright? Give Karen a round of applause. Brilliant volunteers, really false environment this. Obviously massively different when you're doing a real show, but it gives you an idea. Actually, Richard, can you just take that chair there? It'd be fantastic. Ali, sorry, could I just borrow you one sec? Karen, is it? Karen, yeah, Karen, sorry. That's my memory aid out the window, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. I'll send that book back to Amazon. Brilliant. Thanks for getting on, Richard. So, deeper. Fantastic. Drifting down, sinking down, you will remain on your chair. You wouldn't do anything deaf like that, would you? No. Sleep. Drifting down, sinking down, drifting down, sinking down. The deeper you go, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you go. I'm talking to the person I'm touching on the shoulder now, and that's you. In a few months' time, when I awaken you, when and only when I awaken you, the number 7's completely vanished. You can't count, say, I'll think the number 7. Count your fingers, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. And anything that normally would be answered with the number 7, well, you just can't count, say, or think it. And the more you can't count, say, and think it, the more it really naffs you off. But yet, if you understand, it's good to laugh, relaxing, drifting down. When I awaken you in a few moments' time, my darling, you can see a gentleman to the right of you. He can't count, say, I think the number 7. Every time he gets it wrong, you're going to get more and more frustrated and pissed off that he can't, but you can't count, say, I think the number 7. You can think it, but whenever you try and say it, it comes out in fluent Japanese, whatever that may be to you. Not yet, if you understand. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine, wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Little bit of a quiz coming up. We've got prizes. Copy of my book, Hypnotherapy Made Easy. Available on Amazon for £9.99. But yes, we've got that, and we've also got a copy of Stage Hypnosis Made Easy, How to Become a Comedy Hypnotist. Guess what? £9.99 on Amazon. So yeah, somebody's going to be walking away with those prizes. We've got to decide who. We're going to start with you, Richard, a bit of general knowledge. So, I know. Totally general knowledge. Children's nursery rhymes. Complete the nursery rhyme. Snow White and the How Many Dwarves. You are against the clock, I have to tell you, because obviously... Sorry, you don't get a chance on that one. The time will come down. Let's try geography. You only get 4 categories. Geography. How many wonders of the world are there? Sorry, you're against the clock.
6.
No, sorry, that's wrong. It's like... What are you trying to tell him?
8.
No. Let's try one more. Stage musicals. My daughter loves them. How many brides for how many brothers? Time's against you, so, you know, today we go. Right, listen, I'm going to have to call you for an answer here. Sorry, I really am going to have to press you for an answer. Sorry, final one. Tell you. Alright, final one. You might get this one, Final chance, Richard. Without looking, if you add it together, your fingers and your thumbs, all together, all your fingers on both hands and your thumbs, what number would it come to?
10.
Brilliant! Let's just check that. Nice and loud, say the number as a point, so that's number 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So if you had 11, how many would that be on each hand? 5.5, wouldn't it? It's not like that. Right, yeah. What have we got there? 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes? And 1? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 5 is? 10. Go on, final chance, out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, you've not won. Sleep. She's gutted, she knew the answers. You knew the answers, didn't you? Sleep. Deeper. Give them a round of applause. Drifting down, sinking down. I'm talking to the 2 people on stage, both of you. In a few months' time when I waken you up, the number 7 does exist. You no longer speak Japanese. Doesn't affect you in any way. You're completely normal in every sense. Well, as normal as you were when you walked in here. Okay, and you'll feel better than you did before you came to the front of the room, and everyone will give you a huge round of applause for being good sports. 1, 2, 3, lighter and brighter. Everything I said completely cancelled out. This also applies to the people in the audience. When you leave this room, everything I've said is completely cancelled out. You'll be your normal self in every way. 4, 5, 6, almost below every nerve, fibre, tissue and muscle in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, is being washed with pure spring water, revitalised, re-energised. 7, 8, 9, lighter and brighter, feeling fantastic inside. And on 10, open your eyes, stand up, take it out, everyone will give you a huge round of applause. Thank you very much indeed. Let's start. So,
I hope that's answered the question of can I do stage hypnosis? I'd like to think the answer is yes. That just leaves, oh by the way, I said it'd be prizes, so Karen,
Yes.
just touch the back of a book, rapid. Line rapid, you're done. And Richard, there you go. Thank you. So that's stage hypnosis. Therapy. For this, I need a volunteer that has something that genuinely, sincerely and truly, that you're not manufacturing for the sake of a fucking seminar. That you genuinely, truly, sincerely inside have a memory, emotion or recollection in the past that if you were to think about it still, if it comes up in your life, in your mind, causes you a degree of distress or negative emotion that you'd like to totally positively eliminate and leave behind in the past right now, so it never bothers you in the future the way it once used to do. Because if it's just make-believe, then it's fucking pointless. Despite the fact of what I said about if it's make-believe, then we use make-believe treatments, but seriously, I need something that you genuinely... You're not going to tell anyone what it is. All therapy I do is content-free. I don't believe in mind-raping people. Everyone knows what's happened to them already anyway inside their mind. You can handle it in a way whereby they know you're referring to it and it feels personal to them, but they never need to tell you. And because of that, there's no problem with what they call in therapy resistance, the client not wanting to share it, because they never need to share it except with themselves internally, which they've been doing anyway, but they've been doing it in a negative pattern. We're going to take the opportunity to help it become a positive pattern for them. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I do need someone that will do this genuinely and sincerely with me, otherwise it kind of defeats the object. Do we have a brave, willing volunteer? You're not going to be chucked on the floor. The lady there, give her a round of applause. You know what? I'll come to you in a minute. I'll pick you next, okay? Cheers. Thank you very much indeed, Jan. Thank you. I know I really do appreciate the fact that it's a bit, this is weird. You would never normally, well, unless you went to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, you would never stand up in the front of the room and go, hi, my name's Jan, and I'm going So we're kind of going to pretend these people aren't there. I'm going to do this as though they're not there. So I'm going to do this because this is something that what I'm about to demonstrate is something that I would only use before I went on a television show, where I've literally only got less than 5 minutes with somebody before we go on air. And they film it and then they show edited clips of. Because they don't want to be filming me for an hour and a half doing the conventional moneymaker stuff. For TV, you've got to be quick, you've got to be rapid. And when you realise that it's all bullshit anyway, it doesn't matter whether it's short or long. The negatives of making it shorter are compensated for by the fact that the person's about to be on television. That fills in that kind of blank. So, Jan, thank you very much indeed for coming today. They're not there, secret wall. Right. So yeah, so, Jan, what I'd like you to do is just, I'm not going to hypnotise you or anything, we don't need to. Because you already know what this memory or thought or emotion is in your life. I'd like you to just take a few moments to close your eyes. It's easier to internalise and kind of reflect on that. And in a way that feels right for you, but make sure you're calm, safe and secure at all times, okay? If it becomes at all too distressing, then just push it away and open your eyes. But just get a sense and a feeling of how that, in the past, used to bother you, okay? How it used to make you feel, those things that you'd like to say goodbye to, positively and permanently, in a few months' time right now, so you can move forward in life. When you get a sense of a feeling of that, okay, then just open your eyes, Sean. And I really don't need to know what it is, but if there was a scale of 0 down here, 10 up there, 10 being the worst it ever was, like pulling your hair out really, really, really bad, and 0, no problem whatsoever. How high up would you say the number is right now? 8. An 8, oh, it's a high, okay. I can see the emotion in your eyes, okay? Would you genuinely like to get rid of that negative emotion once and for all right now? Take a nice deep breath in. And out. Fantastic, in. And out. And now just place your right arm out in front of you. Brilliant, Jan. I'm just going to take hold of your hand like that. Take another nice deep breath in. And out.
In and out. In. Just close your eyes down. Just close your eyes down. Drifting down, sinking down. The deeper you go, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the deeper you go with every breath that you take. Every noise that you hear, every word that I say, merely serving as a sign and a signal to help every nerve, fibre, tissue and muscle in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, to become so limp, so loose, so relaxed, so heavy and so tired that when I lift up your right arm in a few moments' time, it will not bother you, worry you or concern you. In fact, as I drop it into your lap, it's just a sign and a signal to relax more completely. Drifting down, sinking down, fantastic, like a loose limp ragdoll. In a few moments' time, Dan, I'm going to lift up your right arm and put it out in front of you. And I want you to take all those negative memories, emotions, ideas, thoughts, and everything attached to it that's negative, that you'd like to say goodbye to in a negative fashion, and move it from that part of the back of your mind to the front of your mind, but without it bothering you. Then push it down your neck, across your shoulder, down to your elbow, and to your wrist. It'll make sense, because you'll feel it go into your arm. Getting stiffer and stiffer right now. In fact, make a fist, like you're saying goodbye to it once and for all, punching it away into the past, so it can never bother you, worry you, or concern you as it once did in the past. Just allow all those negative emotions, all those negative thoughts, in a way that feels right for you, to go down to your shoulder, down to your elbow, down to your wrist, into your fist, and feel it there like a fist of fury. It's gone. Really, I don't know if you've done it right, because I won't be able to move your arm. That's brilliant. The more you just allow it all to go into your fist, the more I will not. That's brilliant. In a moment, I'm going to tap you on the back of the hand. When I do, you're going to feel your arm go like a loose limp ragdoll. Your fingers will uncurl, and all that negativity will flood out the end of your fingers like there's a drain on the floor, and it can go away and leave your mind, leave your body, and make you feel fantastic from this moment forward. 3, 2, 1. Now, drifting down, saying fantastic. Notice how good that feels in every nerve, fibre, tissue, and muscle in your body. From the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, feeling fantastic, revitalised, re-energised. As I count from 1 to 10, positively and permanently leaving all those negative thoughts, emotions, ideas, attachments, and anything else that you want to say goodbye to right now in the past, firmly and positively, in a calm, safe and secure manner for you. And realising that that space inside your mind is now filled with positivity. On the count of 1, 2 and 3, when you awaken each morning from this moment forward, you'll awaken with an inner warm glow of confidence, a renewed optimism to life, a more positive attitude to get things done. It's almost as if on the count of 4 and 5 that every nerve, fibre, tissue and muscle in your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, is being washed with pure spring water, revitalising, re-energising you. It's like somebody set the factory reset button on the computer, so that all that negative shit, all the negative stuff's gone. Because on the count of 6, it's almost as if you've installed the wonderful, most perfect and powerful for you antivirus software for your personal laptop computer. 7 and 8, lighter and brighter, like all the stresses, tensions, worries, fears and apprehensions of days, weeks, months and years gone by are leaving your mind and leaving your body right now, feeling so good. 9, starting to come back to us at a speed that just feels completely right for you, so you know that it continues to work so fantastically for you. And on 10, when you feel you're ready, you can just sit up in your chair and you can just open your eyes. You can just take a few moments to allow that fantastic sensation to allow you to come back with us into the room. Okay, Jen? Feels a bit odd, doesn't it? Do you feel like something's been kind of removed, taken away?
No.
If there was a scale of 0 to 10, and 10 up there was the worst it ever had been in the past, really bad, like pulling your hair out, yeah? And down here, 0, gone completely, nothing, no issue, like a massive sense of relief. How much lower, you said an 8 before, how much lower down now would you honestly say that the number would be? As low as that already? That's fine. You use your mind fantastically, powerfully, brilliant. Do you feel it would be appropriate? Is that a level that you feel okay with, that it wouldn't bother you? You could deal with that? Thank you, Jan. I really appreciate you volunteering. A round of applause for Jan. And we haven't set anything up, did we, Jan? That's not acting, that's a genuine emotion that genuinely felt different to you. I've not paid you to play along or anything like that.